Welcome, students, as we prepare for another episode of DC Graduates. I'm one of your teachers, your doctor recommended dose of nerdiness, aka your nerd today, Carlos Rodriguez. And as always, I am joined by my teacher in crime, Sly. Sly, how are you today?
Um, Alive? I did take the day off
Yeah,
of work.
that's nice. That's always good.
I am going on another work trip next week, which is why we're recording on and off day.
Yes.
But I have cider. I have ginger. What are these? Gingerbread cookies
Ooh,
right
nice.
next to me. So I might have a little snacky snack. And we're talking about probably my new favorite film ever of all time.
Yeah. I wonder why, because we were talking about the Batman, as in your beloved 2004 Batman series, The Batman
Mhm.
versus Dracula, which came out a year after the initial release of the series in 2005.
Mhm.
This one was directed by Michael Guggen and Tai Ho Han and Seung Eun Kim, written by Dwayne Quipisi.
But,
Okay, yes.
somewhere in the credit was our beloved Sam Liu.
Yeah, Sam Liu, and there was another one too, Michael Veretti. He was on there. There was like a couple people
Mhm,
that would
mhm.
move on. It looked like they were assistant directing on certain scenes and then moved on in like the aughts, like past the aughts in like the tens and the 20s to then direct their own films. So this has
Mhm.
like a stack, like
Very
they were like
nice.
it's like a pipeline of like people who are gonna start
Right,
working on DC
yeah.
projects on their own. But this is written by the creative team behind the series itself, Dwayne Capizzi and Michael Jelenic. Studio, as always, is WB Animation. Stars Reno Romano, Peter Stormare. What a performance from him in this one. Oh, he's actually, you can
Mhm.
say that about him literally in every movie, literally every film.
Yeah.
Literally, what I think was our friend and co-founder Mario when he launched his stuff last week as a recording. He had a good friend of the show, Madeline Stanley, on, and they were talking about Until Dawn, and like they spent like 20 minutes talking about Peter Stormare and his performance
As
in
you
that
should.
film because he's also in Until Dawn, the game, and like he's awesome. He's just a great actor.
Mhm.
Tara Strong, Tom Kenny, Kevin Michael Richardson, and Alistair Duncan. You actually corrected this.
Mhm.
At first, I could not find it. Um,
Mhm.
and you said it's on YouTube.
Listen, we gotta shout out
Yeah.
again. We shouted him out previously, but one of our fellow co-founders, Frank, dropped a message on a random day of the week being like, "Hey, I think all of the DC animated movies are on YouTube
Yeah.
and they're free with premium." And I went, "Oh, interesting. We'll see." And then he has come in clutch, multiple an episode now. And we
Yeah.
do have YouTube Premium through the PIP account.
It really works out. It really works out. Well,
So
it's
it's an
interesting though.
expense, right?
Yeah, that's how we say it. It's an expense. Though
Mhm,
I swear this film was both on Tubi, which I can't blame Tubi for this. It was on
mhm,
Tubi like what 2 months ago, maybe I want to say, and then
probably.
maybe a couple months before that, it was on HBO Max. Which again, this is our time to say fuck David Zaslav.
Fuck David
Um,
Zaslav, yeah, mhm.
You suck, and please don't sell to Paramount because that dude's gonna kick everybody out that is not white and or
Yeah,
does not agree with his views. And he's gonna use a lot of AI for no reason.
correct.
But
And we hate AI.
this is the thing I want to bring up though. This is again not necessarily like our segment where we say fuck David Zaslav.
Mhm.
IMDb is a great resource that we use for our show.
Yes,
Cast list
constantly.
quotes and stuff like that, reviews that we're gonna start with this episode now. Um, But one of the things that is cool about it is like you can actually just go there. I typically use a website called Just Watch, but I noticed that IMDb when
Mhm.
we're looking up a film will show you where it is currently being,
Right,
filmed.
yeah.
And because it's like Amazon owned now, it will like kind of push you toward, hey, it's on Prime, you can rent it, or it's on these Prime channels if you have a subscription here. I was like, all right, whatever. They never mentioned YouTube. Like would
Correct.
be perfect, especially if you have a premium. Be like, "Hey, YouTube Premium, like you can watch it on
Mhm.
here." And then you could click that link and it will take you to the site, which is nice on
Right.
IMDb's point.
It's pretty
Um,
good with the traditional streamers. Like, it usually has the most accurate information on Max and Netflix and
Mhm.
Hulu and that kind of stuff. But yeah, no, they never have. uh, I have, at least I've never seen YouTube listed as a streaming option, which
Yeah, it's one of those
is
things too that
unfortunate.
I personally have premium, and I would go through and, like, I'll, like, accidentally, like there's, like, a lag on my TV, I end up in that movies
Mhm.
tab, and it'll be like, "Oh,
Mhm.
look at all these free movies you can watch with premium." I was like, "I always forget you have this," and I don't and then I
Mhm.
never watch a movie. I'm like, "Yeah, whatever, alright." Let me watch about all these new Steam machines for 20 hours. But
Hell
yeah,
yeah.
so you can actually watch this on YouTube, which is nice this time around. Sly, for your beloved. I mean, even though this is typically where you come in anyway. Why don't you hit us with a plot recap for this?
Alright. Gotham City is terrorized not only by recent escapees Joker and Penguin, but by the original creature of the night, Dracula. Can Batman stop the ruthless vampire before he turns everyone in the city, including the Caped Crusader, Joker, and Penguin, into his mindless minions? Dun dun
Yeah.
dun.
I love that one from Anonymous because, like, in my head, I also like read it as like Vincent Price. Like it feels very apropos for like what we're covering today.
Hell
Not too many
yeah.
characters in this film, Sly, but how hit us with
Mm,
the comic book
well,
characters.
we got Batman, obviously. It's in the title. We got Alfred, Vicky Vale, who I really like in this series. Hot take. I don't know if that's actually a hot take. I'm just saying usually
Yeah.
I don't like her. The Joker, obviously. Penguin shows up. And I guess Dracula's technically a comic book character
Yeah, I guess.
occasionally. But yeah,
It's like
that's about it. Pretty slim pickings.
I wonder if he pops up in DC Comics because he's like a oh yeah he is. Oh, I totally did forget. Yes, he is a character because he was like introduced to the New 52 as like a. I mean, I think it was
Yeah.
before, but he was like a big character in the New 52. I totally forgot. That's how
Mhm.
much. That's how much I don't think about Dracula, like in DC
I
Comics.
would like the record to state that I knew a comic book fact that Carlos didn't.
Yeah, yeah, I totally forgot that he's like a thing in that universe. Like I was thinking, I like in Marvel, he's like a big thing. Blade's always after him.
Well, yeah, uh-huh.
I think in canon, he owes Moon Knight money. Like,
That
like
sounds about right,
that's a
yeah.
canon stupid thing. Um, yeah, he's a big character within Marvel. Marvel, not surprising. Again, you mentioned that earlier. Again, they rely heavily on literary figures and old gods for comic book
Mhm,
characters. Hercules, Thor,
yeah.
Loki, all those
Khonshu.
pantheons. Khonshu, yeah, like all these pantheons are like, we'll really use them. We're like, oh, okay. To varying degrees of success. Um,
Mhm, mhm,
so this film, short, tight 90, really fun.
mhm,
This is both our first times watch. Oh no, this is my second time watching it. This is your first time watching it. I haven't watched it probably since 2006, or something like that when it was on Cartoon Network, like one random Saturday evening. Um, where would you like to start? Would you want to go through our notes and then talk about the Andrea Romano roundup when it pops up, or just dive right into the roundup?
I think we can dive right into the roundup because I think the only thing that's in my notes that is not in our like subsections here is just how much I love this universe of the TV show. Everything about it, the art choices, the aesthetic, the little music stings, the dramatic tension at the start of the fights where it's just like silence besides the music and
Yeah.
these gorgeous like visuals coming up, like everything about this was fully set in and embodied the series and the universe the series exists in. And I feel like we don't always get that when we get a kind of a spin-offy movie set inside a universe they're already working in. I feel like Mask of the Phantasm did that pretty well,
Mhm.
but other
Mhm.
than that, most of them are just, like, kind of vaguely set in the pre-existing universe that they're trying to embody, and this just absolutely felt like brand new The Batman 2004 content, like 20 years later, because it was my first time watching
Yeah,
this. Like everything about this was like, wow, this is the show I loved so much as a child and still absolutely adore. Like this was everything I could have asked for and more from the series. So yeah, let's just talk
yeah.
chat about it.
I did want to shout out, and it's funny because before we covered this episode, I happened to be on like social media, and there was a
Mhm.
post, and it was Jeff Masuda, who is he's credited as the person who came up with the whole design philosophy and like the character art for the
Mm,
series, and a bunch of stuff
mhm,
he worked on, and they're just to shout out some of the stuff he worked on. Jackie Chan Adventures, he was a character supervisor, character designer. Batman, 2004. He was the Batman versus Dracula in this. Uh, One of my favorite films, TMNT, the 2007
mhm.
TMNT, which we have a good friend of mine is going to be popping in for our Batman versus TMT episode, and he just did a whole beautiful video essay on that movie specifically, and with the problems and the good and the bad with that. Hulk versus.
Friend of the show, not so recently anymore, but Sophia Ricciardi on
Mhm.
Movie Strict did a whole TMNT month that was very fun and very
Ooh,
exciting.
ooh, I
Highly
gotta go check that out.
recommend.
Yeah. And he also worked on Hulk versus. Specifically, there's a segment in that
Mm,
film was Hulk versus Wolverine. Great, and if you see how Wolverine looks in that, like you're like, oh yeah. Said about his designs are perfect, and it's like again for anybody watching the episode, you can see right behind me, you can see Batman's like silhouette and like just the short bat ears
mhm.
and like the cowl going over the nose,
I
helmet
love
wise. I
it. I
love
love
it.
it so much, yeah.
Yeah, he's
The way
definitely
he has
awesome.
such distinctive, um, profiles, both from the front and from the side, is something that
Yeah.
not a lot of the animated properties nail as well as they do here, and I just ugh, I eat that shit up.
Dude, yeah, he does something very cool and special. He has a very angular design. It's almost like anime-esque, you
Mhm.
kinda could say, with his
Yeah,
designs, which is
very
really
anime
cool.
inspired,
And I've said this
seems
before,
like.
especially with, this version of Batman and why I always like the nose kinda
Mhm,
covered that way. I'm a big fan of Kyle Rayner. He's my favorite Green Lantern, and his
mhm.
classic, like, no nose, like,
Yeah.
mask, domino mask that he has is, like, one of my favorite things ever. I,
Mhm.
like, absolutely love how
Good
that
luck.
looks. It's such a
Yeah.
strange look because it goes, like, above his lip and up here, and it's
Uh-huh.
so unique and different. Like, if it any other lantern, it would look really weird. But, like, it's on
Mhm,
Kyle, who loves, like, manga and all this, and he's an artist
mhm.
himself, like, it just fits. Alright, that's enough gushing about Jeff Matsuda, who is amazing,
Not
and
enough,
not
never.
enough actually,
We
yeah,
love
no,
him.
you gotta give him his flowers, yeah. I'm sure if we ever move on to the series where we cover full seasons, we'll talk about him more.
Mhm, mhm.
Uh,
Oh, yeah.
where do you wanna start with the Andrea Romano Roundup? I think I know, but,
Um, actually, I wanna do the second one
Mm,
first, and then we'll get to that one.
okay, yeah. So, Penguin as a lackey, how do we feel about it?
It's so interesting because when you think about Penguin in the grander scope of all things DC, we usually think of him closer to, like, the Penguin
Yeah,
TV show version of him. He's this mobster, mob boss-ish. He's trying to work his way up in the ranks. He still has this scrappiness about him, but he's intimidating. He's scary. And
he's
one
brilliant too.
thing yeah, he's very smart, very intelligent, knows how to manipulate the situation to get what he wants. And one thing the Batman TV show does very well is balances out which of the rogues are scary-ish and which of the rogues are funny.
Yeah,
And Penguin in the show, like, he has his moments where he's, like, genuinely a little bit terrifying. He is a villain, he is a rogue, but for the most part, he's kinda like a bumbling buffoon more role, and he just has this desperate want of jewels and coins and, like, extravagant
yeah,
displays of wealth. And the way they play into that here where he's, like, trying to hunt down this this treasure, and spoiler alert, eventually finds it, only for it to be ripped out of its hands.
It's so funny.
And to fall into the role of a lackey to a much scarier, much more intimidating figure is, I feel like it's a twist on what people would expect from
Hmm.
Penguin himself, but manages to, like, toe the line perfectly to fit in with the characterization in the TV show in a way that I just thought was so brilliant. I kinda loved him. Don't get me wrong, I love an intimidating, powerful, like, scary penguin. I think that's a really fun character to really play into the humanity and the vileness and the evil of humanity,
Hmm.
but also sometimes it's fun for him to just be the, you know, Dracula's lackey.
Yeah, because it's funny with like for anyone who hasn't seen this series, I haven't seen this movie. Um, Penguin depicted in this looks like a not as ugly version of Danny DeVito's Penguin. Like he's got like
Mhm,
his fingers are like misshapen and
mhm,
stuff. He's got the shorts. He really honestly looks like a cleaned up version of Danny DeVito's Penguin
mhm,
from Batman Returns. So you have that. He is very quippy. But again, this is coming from my like limited knowledge of the series. And when we watched our bonus episode, we watched just 4 episodes. That was when I was like, "Oh, this is like a modern interpretation of the '60s Adam West Batman," at
yes,
that time. So
yeah, very
he
much.
feels like a mix of Danny DeVito, but like with the humor that Meredith Burgess brought in the Adam West series. He has
Mhm.
that kind of like, and he does a crank, crank, crank. He does that a lot. He makes that sound like Meredith Burgess, and he has all those like little leanings like that, and it's just funny to see him in this way because it is jarring, right? Again, last year we
Mhm,
we got
yeah,
this amazing Colin Farrell ran series after his amazing portrayal in Matt Reeves' Batman movie, and it's like, oh man, like that's Penguin, that's awesome, but there's room for both. Like this
mhm,
interpretation really works in
yeah.
this world. The only weird thing for me, and that's only because I again have not seen much of Penguin in this universe, is I did not realize he has hands. Like he was throwing down. I was like, since when?
Oh, yeah. It's really interesting because, like, when you first meet him, you meet him more as a socialite, and he's, like, chatting up Alfred, trying to compare, like, British lineages and seeing, like, how, uh how high a status he is compared to him, and it's this really, like, he really plays into the, like, slimy, like, not very suave, but still kind of grasping onto his remaining riches, kind of socialite-esque character, and I think the only reason why this version works so well for me is he is mind controlled for, like,
Oh yeah.
95% of the film, and so, like, that's not, like, really Penguin, but also it fits with his characterization in a way that's really humorous, and I think that's what really makes it all click together, but yeah, he it's such a fun time. I almost made you watch the Penguin episode
Oh, the one
of
you
the
reference it.
series. Yeah, it's very good.
Also, this is when we are introduced to Penguin in this film. He throws hands with an Arkham guard, which that in itself, that's okay. A lot of
Mhm.
people can beat them up for some reason. That's just canon at this point. But it's the ferocity that he can fight. It's like what the hell. But we find out a little loophole, and this is a good section to bring it in. We find a little loophole with the Gotham judicial system in this universe, and
Mhm.
it is horrible. And I put it here. I was like, Gotham is his own problem
Yeah.
because the guy who's telling him, like, "Hey, man, I want to let you know there's this mob like treasure basically trove. I know where it is. If you help me escape, you and me can split it 50-50 or like whatever, and like I'll show you where it's at." And he's talking about it. And he's like, and the guy pretends to be crazy for a minute as like one of the Arkham
Mhm.
guards come up near him or orderlies, and he goes back to being normal. He's like, "What did I say?" He's like, "Well, it was either 35 in prison in Blackgate or 10 years in Arkham.
Mhm.
Take the 35. Take the
Yeah.
35. What is wrong
Mm.
with you?" That is an easy answer.
Listen,
You could get out for
yeah,
good
it sounds
behavior.
like
What are you talking
10
about?
years at Arkham compared to 35, like, that's way less time,
If you're
but
not
the
crazy, you're gonna be
emotional
crazy.
damage. Exactly. Arkham turns people insane. Like, that has been
Yeah.
such a consistent plot in so many different iterations. Like, what do you mean you don't wanna go to Blackgate?
Dude, I would take Blackgate in a heartbeat. I'll take Blackgate now. Like, you don't have to like, no, no, I don't wanna even get near Arkham at all. Like, what are you talking
Yeah.
about? And you can't even say, "Oh, this is within the first" what we call this, what, year 2 of Batman, right? Like, kinda storyline? That's the whole point of, like, the Batman series, like,
Yeah,
year 2, year 3.
it's, like, between 2 and 5.
Yeah.
I think 5's the stretch, like,
But Arkham's a problem
3-ish, I think?
beforehand, you
Yeah.
know? Like, Arkham's
Oh,
a
yeah.
problem
Oh, yeah.
beforehand. So, like,
Arkham's been a problem for a century,
what
probably.
and this dude, I don't know, did he kill somebody? Well, like, what did he do for the judge to be like, "Here are your 2 choices. You can rot in
Mhm,
a regular prison,
mhm.
or you can get out early if you go to
10 years
Arkham."
in the limbo.
Like, what are the
Yeah.
why are these the
Mm-mm.
consequences to your action? What did you do, sir? What horrible thing did you do? Or again, because it's Gotham, it's
Well,
just
it's
horrible.
probably who did he piss off? Like, you know those judges are in
Damn, yeah, I
all of
didn't
the
think of that.
power people
Yeah.
pockets. Like, who did you rat
Yeah.
on and get a shit deal out of it?
That was the other thing too, because I saw Penguin in Arkham. I'm like, Penguin doesn't belong in Arkham. He's a normal dude. He's
Mhm.
just
Pissed off Falcone, and
yeah.
Falcone said, "Get your ass in Arkham."
That is frightening. That can like that's the other thing about Gotham, right? Like most people like in regular society, like, oh my god, I can't do anything illegal because God forbid, wrong cop, wrong time, I will be away
Mhm.
forever. You know, something horrible will
Right.
happen to me. In Gotham, it's that, but like times a million because like
Mhm.
oh, I was eating Reese's or something, and now it looks like I have foam in my mouth. I'm going to Arkham for no reason. I was just
Mhm.
walking down the street.
Mhm.
Like, no, that's not you. The horrible things, if you somehow make it through those 10 years without interacting with Two Face, with, you know, Joker, who's breaking out constantly, any of these people, any of the rogues, if you're not dealing with any
Mhm.
of them, your therapist could be Harley Quinn, who is crazy in her own
Yeah.
sense.
Mhm. Yeah, she
Like,
lost it because she was working there.
yeah. Like, you
Like,
have no
yeah,
way out.
uh-huh.
There's no sane life for you. Like, you're gonna go crazy. I was like, "What a horrible, horrible, like, fate for that." But yeah, going back to the Penguin thing, I did end up liking it, especially because it is Dracula. Like, it does
Mhm.
help, like, sell you on, like, him being, like, a lackey. But I did appreciate that Penguin was gonna throw down with Joker. Like, he was willing to fight
Oh,
him.
yeah.
He was like, "No, I can do
He's
it."
like, "That's my number 1 op, like,
Yeah.
I'm going after him. I
Any
can't believe you
universe.
let him get the jump."
Yeah. Did you tell anybody else? Yeah, I told somebody else, but he was crazy. He's like, "I know who you did." He's so angry with him in
"I
that moment.
know what you did,
Oh, man.
and I'm taking it personally."
So, actually, before we get into the main subsection of the roundup, let's
Mhm.
go into because I did mention his name, Joker, the Joker of it all.
Uh-huh. 'Kay.
Why does Joker need to be in everything? I feel like we ask this every couple movies because he's in every.
Yeah, he is in everything.
This kind of
In
works.
their defense, he's in episode 1 of the show.
Mhm.
Like, it is a very much, like, will they, won't they now kiss situation
There's so
with
many lines in this movie.
with Batman and Joker throughout the
Yeah.
entire first couple seasons. Like,
Right.
that's kind of their thing. They have this little banter, they have this little flirtationship, at least one-sided via Joker, and, like, he kinda has to be in it because he was in the entire first season, and unfortunately, that's not a good enough answer as to why he's here, but that is my answer.
Yeah. It is interesting to see a Joker who's turned into a vampire and is Dracula's minion because that's more interesting than the Penguin being a lackey, right? Because
Yeah.
that's scary in itself. Like Joker in general is just scary to add the bloodlust on top of it. And then at one point in the movie, I mean,
Mhm.
again, this is PG, so it's not like they're not showing everything. If it was, it would be R for that one scene, and not that anyone got hurt, but he's head to toe covered. His dreads, everything about him is covered in blood, and it's, like, viscous,
Mhm.
and it's, like, thick, it looks brown when you watch the film
Oh, where
because of the
the
lighting.
shelf collapsed
Yeah,
and
and
it's
he's
just
just licking his
pouring down
arm
him
and
and
stuff.
you see his, like, tongue latch
Yeah.
out, yeah.
I was like,
Mhm,
"That is"
mhm.
like, can you imagine walking in and not being Batman, walking in to a blood bank and seeing the Joker as a vampire and covered in blood, like, fuck. You're gonna go to
Mhm.
Arkham if you don't die, like, you from just seeing that scene.
Yeah, mhm.
Um,
The instant trauma.
yeah, it was oh my god, dude, it was ridiculous. And then, he dies also for a little bit, and then he got better.
Kinda. He got better.
Yeah, it's how sad
I
Bruce is, he's like,
mean,
"Oh, he died. Oh, no."
yeah. I I did at one point, I put in my notes, um, something I put what, uh, "That's a murdered by raindrop, LOL," and then I went back into it 5 seconds later and put a parentheses, "and attempted," because I knew future me would just read that and be like, "Wow, past me was so dumb thinking that he was actually dead there."
Yeah,
So I instantly had to be like, "Wait, wait, I know he's not dead. I've seen season 2 of this show."
yeah. You're like, "I know he comes back, that's weird." I did love the suit, though. I do love the suit design specifically when he
Mhm.
has that compared to the straight jacket one is unique. It is cool. I won't say that. I won't say it's not.
Yeah.
But, like, adapting this specific Joker to his classic suit, his, like, little
Mhm,
grippers are out for any reason. So
mhm.
and he's, like, hunched over. Like, I don't know why I love, like, his little
Oh, yeah,
hunch,
very
like
hunchy.
yeah,
His arms are, like, twice as long as his torso, and they
yeah.
just kinda sway. It's very much a yeah, weird body horror, traumatic that accident, like, fuck
Can
shit up type
can you
of
imagine
Joker.
this version of Joker in live action? Like, what he would look like?
Dread Joker with the swirly
Dude,
fucking
dude, it would be so crazy. And then this is, I think
Mhm.
also when you consider Kevin Michael Richardson voicing him, and we didn't get to talk about this last
First of
time,
all,
but
incredible performance.
he
Yeah.
is above and beyond. Because it was fun. I was watching it, in at in my place of business, and my best friend Brianna's next to me, and she hears Penguin, and immediately is like, she does this all the time. If I'm like watching like an anime,
Mhm.
she's like, I just hear and you watch it, or I just hear this one character. So she goes, she's like, all I can hear is SpongeBob. Because Tom
Mm,
Kenny is Penguin. And I look over like, oh yeah, it's Tom Kenny's playing Penguin. She's like, oh, it's like the same vocal tone as SpongeBob, but
mhm.
ever so slightly like a little deeper. And so that's all she hears. But like Kevin Michael Richardson does not sound like Kevin Michael Richardson. Yeah, the closest I've heard him to his almost natural voice is probably Shredder in the 2012 Ninja
Mm,
Turtles. And not even then, like it's still like he has such incredible vocal range that it's always
yeah.
impressive when you see it. He's so good as Joker. He's the
Dude
laugh.
is so
Yeah.
talented, yeah,
And my
and
first exposure.
all of these
Yeah.
voices are, like, my nostalgic version of these voices. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Mark Hamill, he does such a great job,
Oh yeah.
but when I think of Joker, it's him and it's this performance. It's just it's so good, and it's like a warm hug, like a nice soft blanket of a we watch a lot of DC animated properties on this
Yes.
show. Every time we get to come back to the Batman, I'm like, "This is my happy place."
Yeah, because he does something that I don't think we've covered anything with Troy Baker as Joker yet.
Mm,
He will show up a couple times. No, you know what?
yeah.
I think we did.
Also a fun
He's
I
a
think
good,
we've seen him
yeah,
once or
Arkham
twice.
Asylum, right? I think he's
He's
Arkham
also
Asylum.
a really fun performance.
Yeah.
I once had a print of his, I think I lost it in the fire, but it was the one of, like, him and then his Joker, and it's
Oh,
really
that's cool.
cool. Anyways, yeah, one of my favorite things about this Joker, though, is the way his vocal performance changes who the Joker is trying to be today. And we
Yeah.
have this, like, really high pitched, like, "La da 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 da," like, "I'm insane and nobody should take me seriously, ha
Yeah.
ha 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 ha," and then when he locks in, it drops, like, 2 octaves.
Yeah.
It gets really growly and he's, like, menacing and, like,
Mhm.
intimidating. so cool.
And what I love about it is you could tell with the mentioning Troy Baker and Kevin Michael Richardson, they're
Mhm.
preceding Hamill, and when they're doing that, you could tell that it's hard not to look at that performance and pick something from
Right.
there, right?
It's so iconic.
And or any iconic performance. We talked about this with Batman Azteca too, with I
Mhm,
do not remember the actor who played Joker in that, but he skirts the line of Mark Hamill, a little bit Heath Ledger,
mhm,
and then adds his little special sauce into there because he does some lip smacks
mhm.
that Heath Ledger does
Yeah,
in The
that's
Dark Knight,
right, yeah.
but it's a little bit of Hamill too when especially when he plays it up, and then his own little vocal range. Kevin Michael Richardson, like I think his thing that he takes from Hamill is, like, similar to the laugh. Like, they both Troy Baker and him both
Mhm,
take the laugh,
mhm,
but Richardson takes it in completely different direction with his Joker. And so much
yeah,
so that when I was watching this and then, like, seeing the design of it here in Kevin Michael Richardson, I'm like, I think it's time for, like, a black Joker.
mhm,
I think and it would work in this
mhm,
universe. If this was, like, adapted to
yeah,
live action, like, I think, you know, I would like to see that. I would like to see who would and immediately in my head, Lakeith Stanfield popped in my head as
okay,
who could play Joker in like a
yeah.
live action version. I was like, "Oh
I
my
feel like
god."
you have to get a really good writer for that, because there's a way that that could be a really interesting commentary, especially with the bleached skin on, like, the
Yeah.
history of colorism
Mhm.
and all that kinda stuff.
Oh yeah, there
Um,
it's rich for like some
there's a lot
interesting
there, yeah.
commentary there, yeah.
Uh-huh, and, like, the whole, like, what you have to do to provide for your family if we're taking, Under the Red Hood perspective on his, like,
Mhm.
backstory, and yeah, there's so much there that could be played with that I think if you have a really strong writer in the room, that would be really fucking cool. Because again, like, this is my Joker, and
Yeah, right?
it's such a good performance. I'm
It
like, "Fuck
really
yeah."
is. No, it's amazing, and going down that too, if having a strong writer, having, a black Joker and touching upon those you would have to touch upon those performances and stuff like that.
Mhm,
I think you can make that would be a Joker I wouldn't mind with an origin, and that is also a Joker that I think you can actually watch. I don't think he should still be the center stage. No, no more Joaquin Phoenix is like
no,
focus Joker. But I
no.
think that's something that can be as compelling as what they wanted to do with a Joaquin Phoenix focused Joker film.
Mhm,
Like something I like
right,
you almost would want to watch an hour and a half character study on like what what desperate, you know, things brought
mhm.
this man to become the Joker in Gotham City. Like and just talk about Gotham in general. Like don't sensationalize and
Can we do like a Gotham Central, like grounded, like
oh yeah.
procedural, like get into
Yeah.
the really fucking nitty-gritty,
Mhm.
like everything that we wanted Gotham, the TV show, to be,
Yeah,
but
that
more
we
and
didn't get.
better.
Yeah, exactly. The other thing too I wanted to bring up, just a little quick shout out, and if anyone's listening, I want you to go to the tweet or Blue Sky, where we posted this and message it if you're just listening. If you're watching, I want you to comment this. My first exposure to Kevin Michael Richardson was a UPN show that was only not even a season. I think it got canceled like after 5 episodes. But I will be remiss to
Okay.
not mention this. It's called Homies in Outer Space. Um,
Homies in outer space.
yeah, it's Homies in Outer Space. And it's about like two guys, two black guys in space, and they just like I feel like they do odd end jobs and stuff. And like Kevin Michael Richardson, I think is their boss or like I forget. Like it, I remember him being in it, and he's a very tall, imposing man. So like he played that role up. But yeah, Homies in Outer Space. It was a I unless I s- somehow had a fever dream that has to be yeah, no, that was a thing. Okay.
There's a Homeboys in
Homeboys in
outer
Outer
space,
Space. Okay, yeah. Oh, Flex
and
Anderson,
Kevin
yeah.
Michael Richardson's
Yeah,
in it.
man.
Yep.
Hell,
Okay.
I yeah, two astronauts fly around the galaxy in a used starship piloted by a female computer called Laquita. You know, I
Do you stand by that show? Have you seen it in the past
yeah,
30 years?
maybe not, but I will say, good thing about this, it was created by a black man. So
Okay, okay, we love to see it.
who then went on
I'm
to
sorry.
produce
The
Eva Stevens.
IMDb description: 2 Han Solo wannabes fly the winged starship Space Hoopity with sassy computer.
Yep. 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 Yeah. Yeah. Hey, listen.
We might have to find a place to watch this.
Yeah, I highly doubt anybody has it streaming. But yeah, homies in outer space. So if you are watching this, comment down below. If you're listening, tweet at us or send us a blue sky message with just homies in outer space. Uh, moving on to the meat and potatoes of this episode. Dracula, human or monster, which is hotter?
Monster.
See, it was you and Brianna. I knew it. It's you and Brianna. Because I said this, I started
Listen,
typing
I
it
don't
out.
like men.
Save her. Save her. She's got banned.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. A monster.
Monster? I could
Yes.
fuck with that. Yeah, I love Dracula. I love Dracula so much. We did something, I think last year, where we played through the demo of Dracula, the visual
Yes.
novel, and that
Yeah.
was so much fun. I
I
just
can't wait for that
there's
game to come out.
something so yeah, I'm so good. Um, there's just something so queer about Dracula, and, like,
Yeah.
we don't get a lot of like, when we're looking at history, there's a lot of, like, capital G gay texts, but there's not a lot of things that feel implicitly queer in historical media. And as
Mhm.
somebody who is like a Jane Austen lover, and listen, I have thoughts on queerness in Jane Austen, but that's not this podcast. That's another podcast. Uh, there are a lot of queer themes in Austen, but, like, that's just not something we see often, except for, like, Dracula is, like, the queerest.
Yeah. Yeah, every once in a while, like the Wolfman or werewolves would be used as a mechanism to speak on like queerness or femininity when it comes to like my favorite movie, Trick or Treat. Uh all the it's established in the movie from the director post the movie coming out that only females could be werewolves in that universe. Um
Hmm,
and they
interesting.
have like there's so many hidden jokes in that. And once the reveal happens, and you rewatch the
Mhm,
film, you realize all the stuff they've been saying are like either literal jokes, like, "Oh, I had some bad
mhm,
Mexican," like that means they literally ate like a Mexican girl or a guy, and stuff like that. And it's just like very sensual, beautiful moment. Or
mhm,
puberty, like in Ginger Snaps, which is
mhm,
a Canadian horror film that's much beloved with these two girls going through like their period for the first time. Is that's used as an
mhm.
allegory for um
Or the, author that we loathe to mention using it as an allegory for AIDS, whatever.
Yeah, yeah, that person too. Yeah, yeah. God damn, she sucks. I
Unfortunate.
forgot about that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she fucking
she's the
sucks.
fucking
God
worst,
damn
man.
it.
But yeah, it is typically Dracula. Like I feel like Dracula, and where I mentioned with the werewolf thing, it could be for it is like capital G gay. It's not
Mhm,
necessarily a
yeah,
queerness. It is like homosexuality or lesbianism or something
mhm,
like that. It's typically used for, but for Dracula because he has this like fluidity to him.
mhm.
And it's
A
even
fluidity and
yeah.
a by curiosity, you might
Yeah,
say.
it's even in that I noticed that last Halloween when I was watching the original uh Bela Lugosi Dracula movie.
Mm.
I was watching it with the kids and we were sitting there and I was like saying to myself, I'm like, this is kind of gay. I like it.
Kinda queer, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty queer. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's funny that Dracula has that kind of notion, that he
Mhm.
lends himself to that. And again, we talk about Draculesti. Um, you know, it's implied in what the little bit we
Explicitly gay.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
he is because Harkness is I believe trans in that.
Trans, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm,
Yeah, and that's what we you find out throughout, our playthrough of the demo. Obviously, the game's gonna be longer, so you can watch it here at
mhm.
youtube.com/pointofprogress. You can see our playthrough of that.
You can. Great
Um,
video. We had fun
it's
with
it
that.
was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun. But yeah, I started typing this out knowing you
Mhm,
and also knowing Brianna
mhm.
because she was next to me, and her favorite Dracula is Van Helsing, the movie Van
Okay,
Helsing Dracula.
good one.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and I think she specifically said the monster form. I'm like, I have so many questions, Brianna. There's so many
I don't think
questions.
you want any answers.
No, and like her ideal men are like Pepe, the king prawn from the Muppets, Brooke
Uh-huh,
from One Piece, who is just a skeleton that
okay.
makes skeleton jokes, and
Okay, uh-huh,
Dracula, specifically in his monster form,
uh-huh,
in oh, and the Beast, but like as the Beast.
uh-huh, yeah, those are all great polls.
Yeah. Yeah, there's like I see why we're friends, like it makes sense, and I'm like,
Mhm,
"Okay, I get it."
mhm.
But yeah, I started typing this out, she looked over, she's like, "Really?" I was like, "I was thinking about you when I was typing this question out." She's like, "I hate you." Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it is always fun. And my favorite thing about vampire media, we have so much of it nowadays,
yeah.
which is fun, which means everybody has their own interpolation of like what makes a vampire. What are the vampire rules? Like
Mhm.
Blade has a very specific definition of what maketh a vampire and how he breaks all of them or whatever. But yeah, as we were going through it, was like keeping track of like, okay, which vampire myths apply here, which ones don't. And this one takes a very like quintessential aughts approach, like can't see their reflection in mirrors,
Yeah.
gets burned by the sun, allergic to garlic, all that kind of stuff.
And then
But I thought
science.
the really fun thing, this,
And
yeah,
yeah.
the insta turning with the bite. I thought that was really interesting because that's not something we see in a lot of
No, typically it
vampire
takes a while.
media.
Yeah.
It's either takes a while or there's a, like, requirement of reciprocity between the
Yeah.
2 people or whatever, but it was really interesting to just have, like, this one bite insta, like, kills and then turns you, and then you're just kind of the lackey of the person who turned you,
Yeah.
which that's a pretty common trope, but, like, yeah, I was really impressed on how they played within the space that would be familiar, especially, again, if we're marketing this towards younger audiences. You
Mhm.
wanna play in a space they're familiar with while also having the creative freedom to do weird science about it.
Yeah. Also, it's funny you mentioned, vampirism in the aughts and like how it was portrayed and all that. I don't know why at this very moment when you mentioned that. Like obviously this is like kind of a loose adaptation of Batman versus Dracula Red Rain, which is a
Mhm,
Elseworld title, and I think there's a sequel series like where like short story like but basically like Batman becomes like the king of the vampires and is a vampire in his own.
mhm,
And then now there's new stuff DC vamps and stuff. But when you mentioned the aughts, I was starting to think, I was like, "Wait," and you said Blade, I was like, "Yeah, Blade comes out in '98. Blade 2's
mhm,
already out probably at this point in 2000, yeah, before 2005 it comes out because I had it on DVD, I was obsessed with it when I met Tara. Um, Blade Trinity's on the way.
mhm,
Underworld's out, at least the first 2 Underworlds. Um, one of, me and Tara's favorite vampire movies, The Forsaken, is out, and because you
okay,
just mentioned, like, there's a time period where, like, they don't turn or
mhm,
whatever, and that's, like, the whole premise of that movie, like, the girl gets bit, and they're trying to get him to stop like, kill him before she turns fully and all this other stuff. It's a great
mhm.
film if you not a lot of people watched it, it's pretty good. Um, uh, but, I was like, "Wow, yeah," I was like and I started thinking, I look at the year when this came out, like, 2005, like,
Twilight's
this is
about to
yeah, Twilight's
start
about to drop.
happening.
Buffy's just
Mhm.
wrapped up. Angel, I think, is about to
Yeah.
it's about to finish too. Yeah, that finishes my junior
Mhm.
year, so that's like 2004. Um,
Mhm.
so yeah, we're like prime time for like vampire stuff. And
Yeah.
like them doing this feels more like, hey, let's do the vampire thing. Oh, hey, did you guys know
Mhm.
also there's a Batman Dracula book? Let's just do that in this series.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like.
Let's do that, but in the universe of the Batman 2004. Fuck it.
Yeah. And
I'm
listen, it
here for it,
works. It
obviously.
works. It works. And yeah, I agree. I don't think like skeletal Dracula is hot. I think once he is fully formed and then turns into his monster form, he's a little more attractive there.
Mm, okay. See, I liked, just past skeletal, but not quite fully filled out.
Okay, so like when he turns a little after he turns penguin, like he makes him
Mhm.
like a lackey. Okay, yeah, I got you.
Mhm. Yeah,
I got
that
you.
was a fun look.
All right, so before we move on to drama class. Any final notes on the film you wanted to talk about?
That's a great one of the vampire things, going from the one little drop on the bone to,
Oh, yeah.
like, full flesh and blood was a little bit out there. That was the choice. I was like, "How did you get enough nutrients to grow the largest organ of the entire body, the skin,
It's
in, like,
Wolverine in logic.
30 seconds?" Yeah, that one caught me up a little bit. Um, I did, Penguin's like, "Cobblepots do not serve," and I say he says as the cuntiest motherfucker around.
Yeah, that definitely was. That's the most crunchy line, yeah.
I said zombie vampires is so weird to me, like, the way they're, like, instant, like,
Yeah.
brainless, like, lackeys. That was a choice. And then once we see him in his oh, fuck, how do you say Dracula backwards?
Alucard?
Alucard. When we see him in the Alucard, impersonation, he was very much giving hot Dracula. Good for him. Um, oh, fucking the energy conference
Oh, yeah.
ball, whatever thing
At
that
Wayne
Bruce
Manor,
is
yeah.
hosting. Um, Alfred was in his element. He was
Man.
leading the troops. They were going into the battle that is a black tie event service. He was having the best time, and I love that for
You
him.
can tell that's
I
how
wish
he
we
was in
got
the
to
Royal
see
Marines. Like, he has this
Oh, yeah,
Royal
I wish
Marine
we
training
got to
came out.
see leader, Secret Service Alfred more. He's
Yeah.
so good. I fucking love that. Um, oh, and then Vicky Vale, we haven't talked about her. I
Yeah.
really liked her in this. What were your thoughts on, like, this take on what's usually a kind of, exploitative reporter trope?
Yeah, yeah, typically she is that very exploitive reporter.
Just giving, like, Daily Mail,
Yeah,
like
yeah, especially in My Adventures of the Superman. That's when she does that a lot, especially to Lois. Like, Lois looks up to her, which is really funny. Um, yeah, this is, like, the most screen time I've seen her have, like, in a movie form since, like, the '90s Batman film, with Kim
Mhm,
Basinger playing her, and she is very much a her and Nicole Kidman's like characters in those films and those
mhm.
like those two Batman films are very like I'm a confident woman in the workplace. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm awesome. And then they see Batman and like my panties are wet and I need this right now. Like the second they meet
Yeah,
him,
uh-huh,
it is awkward as
mhm,
hell. Like they
mhm,
like she's like exasperated, like all this. There's so many between both of them. Like, aren't you guys
mhm.
doctors? Like have you I mean, is what I liked about this Vicky Vale, she, we put it in drama class too, but she talks about, like, how hot
Mhm,
he is, and she's like, "Ah,
mhm.
well," like, that's not what's important to her, which is, like, a
Alas.
nice change of pace, yeah,
Mhm,
but I like this version of her, I like her trying it looked like, she wanted to find, what was going on, um,
mhm,
she truly did, and I also love that she clocked, like, we were talking about what's hot,
mhm,
human or monster Dracula. She
mhm,
saw human Dracula like, this guy's a creeper. This guy's a
mhm.
weirdo, man. And this is
Weirdo.
2005. This is
Yeah.
great.
Mhm, mhm. And then my last thing is I love when we get to see a little bit more of a human Bruce, where
Yeah.
he's not like the bat all the time. Like seeing him get beat up, seeing him with the nightmares, like all that kind of stuff where
Mhm.
he really gets to be human and be Bruce and not just the cape and cowl is always so fun for me. And it also means we get more sassy Alfred, which is
Yes.
genuinely my favorite part about being a DC fan is
The
sassy Alfred.
Alfred in this one, like the second it starts going good for Bruce with Vicky, he's like, "Hey,
Mhm.
yeah, she can move in or something." Like he said some line where he's like so hopeful that he's like, "Oh my god,
He's
finally,
like, "Grandbabies?
I need
Give
grandbabies now."
me a grandbaby?"
So Alfred, I'm 25. I should be a grandfather by now. Twice over. This is ridiculous. You are
Mhm.
rich. Um,
We have so much money, and I'm here to take care of
yeah,
the baby?
that's all. We have staff to take care of the rest of the house. I don't need to do that. Um,
Right.
for me, one of the things I love this when he was fighting, like the first horde of vampires. I love Batman does this quite often now, but like he has the
Mhm,
batarangs as like knives,
mhm.
as like extensive
Yeah.
weapons and stuff. I love that. I love it so much.
Mhm.
Um, oh, I said, you know what would be a good fanfic? Dracula in the Court of Owls, or
Mm,
the 2004 Batman interacting with the Court
mhm,
of Owls.
mhm, mhm,
Yeah,
mhm. Yeah. Fuck yeah. Somebody
yeah.
get on that, please.
Because can you
Who has
imagine?
the rights to 2004's The Batman?
Yeah, James Gunn, I need you to do us a favor. It's just a one-off,
Mhm,
just an animated movie. 2004's a
mhm.
Batman meets his version of
I've
the
been
Court of Owls.
asking for a Court of Owls, a good, real Court of Owls animated movie for 8 years.
Yeah,
We still haven't got one. It's
no,
fine.
this
I'm
is
fine.
they could do it with this series though, because it's how gothic this specific Gotham
Mhm.
is too, and
Yeah.
this is more gothic than like neo, like classical, like the that we get with like Bruce Timm's and Paul Dini's Batman, right?
Mhm.
That looks like it's like almost stuck in the 30s and the 40s. This is
Give
like,
us a Gotham Academy, like, relaunch of this universe of the Batman,
ooh,
but telling that story, and then do the Court of Owls shit in that.
oh, that'd be great. That would be great.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, and then age up everyone, right? We already know there's a
Mhm.
Nightwing in this universe, down the line. We already Batgirl's gonna be around, like she'll be Oracle. Like, let's just
Mhm.
do this, man.
Mhm.
Let's do the Court of Owls in this
Mhm.
universe. It'd be great. That's immediately what jumped off my head. And then I was like, oh, Dracula in the Court of Owls would be cool too. Um, and then I joked, I was making a shitty joke, but I was like, I love it's like Alucard is just Dracula backwards. And I was like, I would love if this universe, because it's 2004, he's like 27. I was like, what if
Mhm.
this universe, Bruce played Castlevania Symphony of the Night? And that's who you play as is Alucard,
Mm.
which is Dracula's
Mhm.
son. It's like, can you imagine? He's like, wait a minute. Oh, he's Dracula.
Wait a minute.
I love it. Also, I said this movie also needs Zatanna, since we have magic stuff
Oh,
in
yeah.
this. I was like, I would love if Zatanna would be in this. No Constantine, just Zatanna.
Yeah, does the Zatanna pop up in later seasons? I don't remember. I really only remember Zatanna from Jalia.
Yeah, I don't think she pops up. It's just the Justice League that pops up in this, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah,
anyone.
and not many of them pop up,
Oh, there's such a
unfortunately.
only could be done in a movie, even though it's PG line. Uh,
Mhm,
what was it? Oh, it's Dracula shows a photo of Vicky Vale to Penguin, and like he's like
mhm,
trying to get her, and he goes, "Nice jugulars." I was like, I see what you did there.
mhm.
This is so stupid.
Jugular.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so dumb.
Sure.
Um, the only thing I would say that was ever so slightly annoying, and this is
Mhm.
the it's only the first sequence, not the second sequence. With the nightmares, we see the Waynes die again. I was like, we don't need this
Take a shot
part.
for every time I see the West
Oh my god,
die.
dude! Like maybe the pearls and that would have been
Mhm,
fine, but the second nightmare sequence he has, like when Dracula's trying to take over his mind, I think that was better. It kind of touched on his
uh-huh.
origin really quick, like it was really fast. We didn't need like
I will say, not to be
yeah.
an apologist for yet another showing
Mhm.
of Bruce's backstory, I believe those are the frames just ripped directly from the TV show.
Oh,
I
fair.
think they were just recycling what they
Like,
already
just in case you didn't see the first season and you
had.
somehow don't know who Batman is, his parents die.
Yeah.
This is how it goes. Um, I also this is for all my Buffy fans out there. I felt like Joker because he's insane and also a vampire in this reminded
Mhm.
me of Drusilla. For any Buffy fans out there, who's the person that turns Spike in that series. She's the
Okay.
vampire that turns Spike, and she's driven insane by Angel. Spoilers, but in that series, like before like in the 1800s or whatever. After he turned, she was like the first vampire he turned, but after
Mm.
torturing her for like months on end, psychologically and physically, just breaking her down, and then turned her. So she's like very like weird, like she's very out there, very aloof, like she says stuff that doesn't really make sense, but then she turns Spike. So I was like, this reminds me of like Drusilla, like how he's talking in his vampire form, because
Mhm.
he's still like clinically insane
Yeah,
and at the same time also a vampire, which is both frightening in its
right.
own. Um, uh, and oh, the last thing I wanted to say before we move on, I was like, you think when he meets the Justice League in season 4, Bruce excitedly tells the team about the time he fought Count Dracula?
Hell yeah.
Because
He's
only
bragging
him,
about
yeah,
that one for
only
sure.
he has him and Alfred are the only ones who have the knowledge that they fought Dracula. Everyone else forgets
Yeah,
what happened to them like when he dies.
right, and that was such an interesting thing that the
Mm.
cure somehow wiped all those trauma memories, which alright, fine, it's an animated show.
Yeah, it's like we don't want them to deal with this. Right. So we're gonna move on to drama class. We have a few little scenes here. We can start with the first one. Uh I'll be Dracula if you want to be Penguin. Yeah.
Hell yeah. "Ah! Dead guys don't do that!"
Not dead. Undead.
"I think I need to unwet my pants."
So funny. Uh alright. I'll be Vicky on this one.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. What is it about you that keeps me coming back? Your boyish charm? Hot bod? Tons of money? If only I was shallow. Love
She
it.
says out loud to herself and her laptop monitor.
Yep. Laptop. Her very 2000s iMac
Mhm.
monitor.
Oh, yeah. Chunky iMac.
Mhm. Alright, next one we have Dracula and Batman. I'll be Batman in this one.
Hell yeah. Oop, not me hitting the cookies. Whoops. So, the folk tales are true. There is another bat in Gotham.
Count Dracula, I presume.
A legend you are apparently intimate with.
Don't flatter yourself.
We cast kindred shadows. Have you not seen the news?
I don't harm people.
You have no concept of the harm which I am capable. If only because I really hate to waste a life when it can be spent in servitude to me.
Life or living death.
To become vampires, to heighten all one's senses, to attain speed, strength, and immortality.
Great back and forth. Great back and forth.
Mhm.
All right,
They're
and if
bants. They have some wicked bants
they do.
throughout
They
this.
really do. Again, Peter Stormare, man. Just so good. He's so goddamn good. And I almost didn't realize it was him because nowadays he kind of plays up his voice a little bit. Like you can see him currently in
Mhm,
like a lot of Black Ops commercials for Call of Duty. He plays up that persona that he is, and he's very subdued in this film.
mhm.
Like it's really good. All right, finally, I'll be Dracula in this one.
Okay.
Go ahead and run. You cannot escape me, Batman. I am evil incarnate. I am the Prince of Darkness.
Rise and shine.
Boom. How lucky was he had that fucking machine in Wayne Manor, man? So
It
goddamn
was the
lucky.
energy summit. Of course
Yeah,
he had to have a light machine.
thank God. All right, we have a new segment we are highlighting here at DC Graduates, and it's reviews where we pick a review that we want to cover. I have a 1 out of 10 star review, and you have a 3.
Half or less.
Yeah, half or
We're
less.
going for bad reviews.
Yeah. You know what we should? We should do bad reviews for good movies and good reviews for bad movies. That's what we'll do.
Interesting, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So the one I picked was the title goes. This is from Nightman 202. This was posted October 22nd, 2005, so probably after this came out on DVD. What was Warner Brothers thinking? They're ruining the whole Batman franchise with this new series. With each story seems to be getting worse. What are they trying to do? Make a Blade out of Batman? They're gonna lose a lot of hardcore Batman fans if they keep continuing with this new series. And what is with the new animation? Are they trying to make an anime? Yes. The
Yes.
only place anime is entertaining is I didn't read this part. Is in porn.
Really? Because I thought that line was why you picked
No. I like gently like caressed over it. I was like, oh, that's funny. Yeah. All right. So
The only place anime is entertaining is in porn.
porn. This guy definitely pit vipers. We all know who he voted for last election.
Oh, yeah.
And he wants them. He did not. If he's in New York, did not vote for Mandani.
Mhm.
And will be leaving New York. The animation is not just awful, it is flawed. So is the direction. In one of the scenes, they show vampires being invisible in the mirror, and then they show the Joker's reflection after he turns into a vampire. I hope they will get a grip and get the old series back in action.
So
Nightman
your
202.
review was acknowledging the fact that it was a new series.
Yeah,
My review, however, 3
it
out
was
of
like
10
a couple
stars.
years ago.
Uh, 2 exclamation points from Ceronimus 15151, March 6th, 2021. We are in a mid-COVID world, and they're watching The Batman versus
Yeah.
Dracula. There you go. Written by someone who seems to know nothing about the source material. A barefoot tough guy acrobat Joker, utterly, and this is where it got me, awe, space, full, as in full of awe. Hell yeah, that's
Correct.
right, brother. My favorite thing also about this is that is the source material. Again, this is based off of The Batman 2004, season 1. That is the Joker. Hate to
Yeah.
break it to you, buddy. They go on, terribly thin premise. My coffin must have moved after my death, leading to mess story development. Technically well animated. Thank you.
Mhm.
Cool. With pretty exciting fight scenes. I also agree.
Mhm.
But the story is Drek. And this is where I need your help, Carlos. What the fuck does Drek mean?
Let's see. Let's look it up. Drek meaning
Urban
rubbish,
Dictionary.
trash.
Rubbish. What's the origin on that?
Oh, it's actually in the Merriam-Webster dictionary. Drek, trash or
Okay.
rubbish. A synonym.
Merriam-Webster recently released the newest version of their physical dictionary. We
Yeah.
love to see it.
Oh yeah. No, I'm trying. I love the highlighted times it's been used in the past couple in this past year. It's a Yiddish Drek or German Drek from
Okay.
Middle High German Drek, akin to Old
Okay.
English thorough rubbish. First known use 1905 in the meaning defined above as rubbish or trash.
Okay. Alright.
Yeah.
Yiddish. We love to see it. See? Ceronimus 15151, you're educating us
Yeah.
with your beautiful review. Thank you.
Also,
Thank you for your service.
technically well animated, pretty exciting fight scenes, but the story is Drek is us talking about Superman Red Sun last week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
agreed.
Yeah. Oh, you know what'd be a good site to pull from too as well. We typically rely heavily on IMDb since we're like already in
Mhm.
there. We should still do that, but we should look for Letterbox too. now
Ooh,
that I
okay.
used
I
it
always
this past
forget
weekend.
Letterboxd
Yeah,
existed.
I literally reviewed
Mhm.
2 movies so far on that thing. So,
I like the TV version of it, uh, serialized is what they're
oh, I
called.
have heard of this. I have heard of this.
Mhm.
Finally, we are in homeroom with our final thoughts. Before we get into that, I did want to pull up this interesting trivia from IMDb.
Okay.
The way Dracula is resurrected, Pigment accidentally cut himself and his blood dripping on the skeleton of Dracula, might be a reference to Dracula, Prince of Darkness, in which Christopher Lee's Dracula is resurrected when blood is dripped onto his skeleton, albeit a much larger amount of blood in that film. But this is a kid's show. So
Hell
that
yeah.
might be a
We love
which
that
I
homage.
think I've seen that back. I think around this time I probably have seen that. Like I've watched this film and probably the Christopher Lee Hammer Dracula movie at that time too. So kind of funny. But yeah,
Mhm.
final thoughts. Like you go first. What is your final thoughts on this film?
Perfect, amazing, 10 out of 10. No notes. This is absolutely everything I wanted from it and more. I am probably going to find a DVD of this to purchase to own on my shelf. I had an absolute great time. Hell yeah, like, this was so exciting. I've been waiting, like, a year and a half to watch this
Really?
movie since I discovered it existed, and to get new content of my favorite piece of, like, media 20 years later, I wish that for everybody.
Yeah, can you
Genuinely,
imagine?
I wish 2 things for every single person listening here. I wish that your favorite piece of media becomes public domain within your lifetime so you can read traditionally published fan fiction of it, and I
Mhm.
wish you get to see new content from your favorite story 20 years later after the fact so that you can
Yeah.
enjoy it with fresh new eyes for the first time.
So I did want to update you on. You said DVD immediately, right? So want to
Mhm.
update you. There's a DVD.
Okay,
It's 15 on Amazon. There is
okay.
a also for $15 on DVD, a double feature, which is the Batman Superman film, World's Finest, and Batman versus Dracula.
What? I
Yeah.
don't have my copy of World's Finest anymore.
Yeah. It's a double
I might
feature
need
on
that.
DVD. And finally, $48, the complete The Batman 2004 on Blu-ray.
I have that already. I got
Oh.
it for way cheaper than that. It was on massive sale, and I bought that, the same time as I bought something else ridiculous. Oh, it was the omnibus of Barton and Bishop
Oh,
Fractions Hawkeye
okay.
Run. Mhm.
Well, there
Yeah.
you go. Yeah, The Batman double
Mhm.
feature repackaged single disc DVD. I'll put that in our
Send that to
DC.
me,
Yep.
please.
um, yeah, I know for me, man, this felt like a longer version of the show, which I was already enjoying when we covered those 4 episodes in our bonus. This is good. Not necessarily like the stakes weren't too high, which I think that initially was like for me, I was like, oh man, I wish the stakes were a little higher in this. But then at the same time, I was like, why? Like this is just fun. Like I turned my brain off and
Uh-huh.
just watched. Like if I didn't have to do notes, like actually actively
Mhm.
like type, I was like, this would have been just a fun popcorn because of course like Dracula versus Batman is such a cool concept. Like it was cool for
Mhm.
Elseworlds title in the like late 80s, early 90s. Why not for like every iteration of Batman should fight Dracula once? It makes sense.
Hell
Like
yeah.
the fact that they didn't do it like they waited this long is kind of insane.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
My
enjoyed it.
version of that was I think every version of the Batman has to fight, Langstrom, Man-Bat. That's
Fair, yeah.
personally, I would like to see that, but I will also take the caveat that every Batman should have to fight Dracula.
Just
One
one
or the
time.
other. Yeah.
Just one time, yeah. Um, but yeah, I think you should watch this movie. I think it's again, and sometimes you would say something like this and it could sound very demeaning, but I think this is very much a turn your brain off. There's no
Mhm.
huge
Oh,
crazy
yeah.
lesson to learn. It's just Batman being a detective, Batman being a scientist, Batman fighting Dracula. It's literally everything you could
Yeah.
want in a Batman movie. Like bare bones, like this is what you want in a Batman film. It's so fun.
Mhm.
And then the art is incredible. Like again, Jeff Masuda, Dwayne Capizzi, and Michael Jelenic, like they just killed it when it came to the series.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, no notes on that. But one note for our viewers and listeners out there, we're not going too far from gothic settings when it comes to Batman. Your homework next week is Batman Gotham by Gaslight, which
Very
I
excited.
saw the title, thought about it. I was like, "Oh, I definitely seen this before." And I watched this with friend of the show, like he'll never be on here, but I mention him all the time. Joey,
Mhm,
so the massive
mhm.
Batman fan he is. We watched this together. Like I remember him buying it, and he came over my apartment specifically to watch this with me. So we did watch this before. Um, I'm gonna just see how this plays again the second time because I remember we had like an hour-long discussion post-film about like the twist that happens in this film. But I'm excited. I am excited to check this out again. I know it's if I'm correct, I think it's Batman versus Jack the Ripper.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, which again,
Can
that
I
sounds
make you
awesome.
read the Jack the Ripper X London fanfic I read that one time?
Is this where Jack the Ripper? Wait, is this one of the Sentient City ones?
Uh-huh, yeah.
I don't know why I already knew that. I was like, is this a Sentient City one?
Maybe,
uh,
we'll see.
we'll think about it. Think about it. But this might be on YouTube. We'll let you know when the episode premieres. Who
Here's
knows?
hoping.
Not on fucking HBO Max. Fucking God forbid, man. This is again. This is one of
Howard.
those movies just should be on there. It's not.
Yeah, why not? It's not detracting anything from your brand. In
No,
fact, it's only making you more money because I would watch it on HBO Max if I wasn't watching it on totally legal streaming site.
sure. Uh, Quick question before we tell everyone like where everyone can
Mhm,
find us, right? And this is overall for the audience and everything too. And this is cool. This is a cool thing we could do with this show because we're covering DC media in general. We could talk about these little things. So if you're not familiar, Warner Brothers already split into two different companies under David Zaslav. One is like Discovery something, and the other one is Warner Brothers like Media Group or something. And they're broken down. There's heads to specific departments. Like video games is still under Warner Brothers specifically. DC is
mhm,
under James Gunn, Peter Safran under Warner Brothers label. Some other stuff got like TNT is on under Discovery and stuff like that. The rumor is currently in United States that they are trying to sell that as either one unit or split it off into different sales. A couple names has come up. Obviously, I mentioned at the top of the show, Paramount with David Ellis, that piece of shit, uh, who wants to use AI, basically firing
mhm,
Stephen Colbert, listens to his Orange master in charge, um,
mhm.
and is buddy buddies with him. Um, that's one person possibly looking, and there's rumors that he would do like a forced takeover, basically bypass the board and go bypass like higher ups and go directly to the board to overtake the company. The others so far that have also come out, Comcast, so NBC Universal, and finally the other one being Netflix. With those two prospects, not that I want this to happen because Monopoly's really bad,
Mhm.
especially we
Monopoly's bad. Hot take.
yeah, this is weird. It's a whole game about it. It's and we just
There's a whole
learned
game
nothing.
about how monopolies are bad,
Yeah,
and we pretend like
they,
it's the fun
you going after a
the fun
monopoly breaks up your family. Like that's
yeah.
the moral of that game, and none of us pick up on that. And this is coming from someone who is very hopeful with the Microsoft purchasing of Activision. They're like, hey man,
Mhm,
they'll get to do a lot more cool stuff, and they'll be able to work on
mhm,
Spyro and Tony Hawk and this and that. And it's like so many people got fired afterwards. Like I was wrong. I understand, and I will admit that. Um, Not that I want this to happen, not that I want a monopoly to happen, but for our content purposes when we're watching these things,
mhm,
if it goes to Peacock or vice versa, Peacock gets absorbed into HBO Max because that
mhm.
that app is better.
Yeah.
And it's like Comcast merger. Do you think because Peacock, I don't know if you've been on it recently or if you've ever been on it, it there's so
Not
much
particularly.
shit on there. Like there's so much
Mhm.
slop on there. And there's so many,
Yeah.
and specifically, like, I look up like horror movies. There are diamonds in the rough. Like you will go look at, like, I want to watch a horror movie. It's like, here's all these random like Ginger Dead Man or whatever random shit like that. in
And
my
then the
head,
entire One Chicago universe is on
yes,
there.
it's on there. Yeah, there's like a whole section for that, you know, and there'll
They
be
got
some.
Justice. The one season of Justice
That's
was
it.
on
Yeah,
there.
3.5 seasons of Yellowstone for some reason, even though it's a Paramount show. Like, there's so many random things like that. And then at the same time, like Terrifier 3 was on there. So like for me, I'm like, "Ooh, Terrifier 3 is
Mhm.
on here. I don't have, Screenbox. This is awesome." But then there's also these like D-list like horror movies that are shot like with porno cameras. Like they're like ridiculous. Like so in that sense, in my head, I'm like,
Mhm.
would all of DC would be on Peacock, right? Like, they would have to put it on
Here's
there.
hoping.
Yeah, right. Because
Yeah,
Peacock puts anything
they have
on
to put
there.
it somewhere.
Yeah. Now
Peacock will take it.
Netflix, if they were to purchase Warner Brothers, I think we would still be in the same boat where I don't think we're getting all of DC,
I think they
unfortunately.
would all come to Netflix within, like, a 3-month time frame. They would stagger
Yeah.
them, but they're disappearing after a couple months for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, and it wouldn't be like a Disney Plus situation, and I don't know if anyone's seen, like, you go to see some movie on Disney Plus, you're like, "Why is it not on here?" It's, like, literally because
Mhm,
some weird contract that was signed by Fox, like, 20 years ago for streaming rights, like, still
mhm,
makes them like, "Alright, yeah, we don't want it on this platform." Like, Home Alone 2 is gonna be on Peacock for 2 months for some reason in April, but, like, that's because of their streaming thing, and then it'll go off and go back
mhm,
on Disney Plus, but those 2 months is not on Disney Plus. Like, there's not that weird contract thing. Like, Netflix is
mhm,
picky choosy with their curation of what's on there.
yeah,
Like, it's not the Wild West of Netflix back in the day. But, yeah, I think if it goes to Peacock,
mhm,
the only shining beacon would be all of it would be on there, one shape or form,
yeah,
unless there's some weird ass contract. So, I don't hope this happens, but if it does happen,
mhm.
you know, hopefully it's all in there. We won't have to say, "Hey, where can you find this movie?" I don't know. Go to some illegal website. Find it on the 7 Seas. That's my little
Mhm,
rant right there. Also, corporate
yeah,
greed, horrible. It's not good.
yeah.
Um, Sly.
If you're working a
Yeah.
corporate job, my call to action this week, if you're working a corporate job, find a way to stupidly waste corporate's money in a way that doesn't get you fired.
Oh yeah. I
I
use the
highly
restroom
recommend.
so
It
much.
brings you so much joy. Find a way to waste their money
Uh-huh.
in a way that's good and productive for somebody who does not usually benefit from the existence of corporations.
Yeah, true.
That's my rant for the day. Also, if you wanna see me reading unhinged shit, follow me on Storygraph. Carlos also has a Storygraph.
I
I'm
do.
putting you on blast.
I do. I think it's at there today. I have to start using that. I literally
Yes, you
have
do.
had a letterbox for like 5 years and just started using last week.
There you go.
That's
It's
how
2 birds, 1 stone. You can
that's
pick it up.
yep. That's how good the movie I watched last weekend was. That I was like, I'm gonna actually use this app that's meant for this. Um, for me, you can find me here, youtube.com/point in progress, where we have this lovely show, DC Graduates, which is a spiritual successor of MC University. Again, I always say if you're watching
Mhm.
us, go to your favorite platform, audio platform of choice, like, share, subscribe there. If you're listening, come over to youtube.com/point of progress, like, share, and subscribe. Give us the views. Just have it on in the background. Show your baby it. Who cares? It doesn't matter. Babies love my voice. It's fine. Um, and then I think around this time, I think we mentioned this last episode. We can officially say we're judges for the Indie Game Awards, which are coming up very
Mhm.
soon. Very excited to be part of the judging panel. We had a big rollout as of recording today, so it was really cool. It is very strange to be in that Discord with so many. Imposter syndrome going in there is
Mhm.
insane, like absolutely
Yeah,
insane.
there's so
Seeing
many cool people in there.
yeah, I almost freak out every time, and then I see Kyle, I'm like, "Oh, yeah, that's right, Kyle." I'm like, "Wait, you're in charge of this."
Hell yeah. We love Kyle.
Lovable
Kyle's
fucking
the
bear.
best.
He's the best.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we have
But
such cool friends.
I
Oh my
know
god.
they just happens to do the giant amazing things. Like, the fuck? It's so
Mhm.
random. But yeah, we're judges on there. We will be hopefully we have a meeting to talk about our content for the next couple months,
Mhm.
but hopefully we'll be covering as long as most of us will be there. I would hope so.
We might be covering it on a delay, but
Yeah,
we will
there
be
will. Yeah,
covering it in some shape or form.
yeah. You
Yeah.
will see our faces with that
Mhm,
telecast in some way, shape, or form.
mhm,
Um, what else we got down the pipeline? I mean, that's about it right now. I mean, it's getting Game of the Year season, Game Awards,
mhm.
Indie Game Awards, so you'll see us doing a lot of game content in the near future.
I need to finish a lot of games. I've started a couple and I have not finished maybe any this year. Oh boy. Oof.
I have, you know what though, would say I did play a good. There's another app similar to Letterbox and Storygraph, the GG app. Shout out to the GG app.
Mhm.
If you're watching or listening, the person who runs the
Wasn't
GG
that
account.
created by what's his face? Janet Garcia's partner?
Is it? That'd be
I
awesome.
could be wrong.
That would be
I
so
feel
cool. 'Cause
like
I legitimately use that app as soon as I beat a game. As soon as I play the
mm,
game, I add it. As soon as I beat it, I add it. I rate it. I have lists. I love that thing. That'd be really cool if that was him. 'Cause he
again,
definitely runs.
unconfirmed.
Yeah, he definitely also runs that like social media page as well. Like whoever made the app also runs that. So it's not like somebody else, that person, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And he will reach out to you. They will reach out to you, who depending on who created it. Uh but yeah, I have a list on there that I keep a running tab of the games, and I've played a good amount of indies this year, so I'm very happy with myself, especially going into Indie Game Award judging season. Like, hey, like I did it.
Mhm.
I did that some of that this
Mhm.
year. That's cool. But yeah, keep a lookout on our socials as well. Blue Sky, more Blue Sky than Twitter. I just use Twitter just because we still have a presence there. So I guess
Mhm.
maybe one day it won't be, you know, run by some South African apartheid weirdo.
Mhm.
Who knows though? Who knows? Anyway,
Yeah. Still
that
holding out hope. I really missed 2011 Twitter.
oh, it was
That
so
was
good.
that was such
It
a
was so
fucking
good.
time.
It was so good.
Mhm.
But we have Blue
Yeah.
Sky now, so and Threads
Heck
and
yeah.
all this other stuff. You can find us all there.
Yeah.
Just keep an eye out.
You can technically find me on Blue Sky. I'm just reposting Pip official content. If you want my unhinged thoughts, go to Threads.
Yep.
I'm really treating that like 2013 era Twitter and just putting whatever comes into my brain onto it.
You want to see what's in there? That brain? Go ahead, go in there. Go right in there.
Mhm. Mhm.
All right, but till
Yeah.
next time, class is dismissed.
Bye.